Hey Apes, it's K-Ape. Here's market brief updates. Yesterday the Nasdaq actually started off pretty decent, early gains, everything looked calm, and then it just gave everything back and closed lower. Let's quickly go through what happened and what the big news was. Key market driver, the FOMC outlook. First off, the market's biggest concern, the absolute top priority, was the pre-FOMC caution. We had Nick Timiraos, the guy who's been super reliable on the Fed, indicating that even though Fed Chair Powell would really push for rate cuts, despite some internal, the upcoming press conference would likely still strike a hawkish tone. Because of this, investors were kind of pricing in rate cuts as a done deal. But they were holding back, staying in a wait-and-see mode, worried that the Fed might signal a much more conservative pace for future cuts, or maybe something different on the inflation outlook than everyone was expecting. This created that general apathy across the whole index. Now let's talk about the big tech individual stock stories yesterday. Nvidia basically closed flat. Although there were some headlines about softening the US export rules for AI chips to China, the gains were totally capped. This was due to China's stated position to only authorize Nvidia chips where local alternatives couldn't substitute them. Plus, there's the lingering political concern that Democrats might devise alternative ways to regulate those exports going forward. Tesla closed up. Tesla was actually one of the stronger names closing up yesterday. First, the news that they are actively running promotions to really boost year-end sales was a positive sign. Second, Piper Sandler, the analysts, provided a positive review, praising the advanced state of FSD technology. And this is where it gets interesting. Piper Sandler's take wasn't just a simple upgrade. They emphasized that Tesla shouldn't be valued merely as a car company, but as a leader in AI and robotics. They specifically praised the rapid advancement of FSD, believing it's nearing unsupervised autonomy and will be the crucial, revenue driver for the future robotaxi network. Third, and this is the big one, comments from Elon Musk himself. He said in a recent interview that the company is on the verge of completing its unsupervised autonomy feature, which is huge, and he intends to unveil it in about 3 weeks. That generated immense excitement, obviously. And also, President Donald Trump's tweet about pursuing a federal-level discussion on AI regulation was viewed positively. Since currently, all 50 states have different laws, a unified federal rule could potentially accelerate AI development across the US. Alphabet also closed higher. The US Department of Defense adopted the Gemini model. More importantly, according to data from Sensor Tower, Google's AI chatbot saw a huge 30% surge in global MAU between August and November, significantly outpacing ChatGPT's growth during the same period. That was a big win for them. Broadcom moved up too. Rosenblatt raised its price target from $400 to $440. As Broadcom helps Google design its AI chips, the great news around Google's Gemini fueled a simultaneous rise in AVGO's stock price, something we often see in the supply chain. Meta was one of the few big names that closed lower. Expectations for the release of its next-generation Llama 3 were super high. However, a CNBC report suggested the release might be delayed until the first quarter of next year, maybe something in Q1, putting pretty heavy downward pressure on the stock. That's it for today, and when US opens tonight, I'll probably be buying something. Real-time trades drop in the community tab approximately 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern. That's the recap. Appreciate the support. Like and subscribe. See you next video. K-Ape out.